What time is it?
Ladies and gentlemen, we are live!
Hello and welcome to Martial Arts Chat Podcast. We'll be reacting to Friday's Bellator 179 event and of course answering your fan questions and comments. You can continue to hit us up online during the show. I'm at Martial Arts Chat on Twitter or hit me up on Facebook, facebook.com/Martial Arts Chat. Joining me on the panel today, we have Blake Stevenson of the Loaded Joes podcast. Blake, how you doing, my friend?
I'm doing well. Listen to that. Oh, that's my beer. We know it's fight time, my friends. I'm ready for it, man. John, it's been a while. We try to get this working. Me being on the show, time factor, whatever. I'm finally here, man. We in this. Let's do this, man.
Let's do it. Excellent. I love it, mate. Bob Carson, returning the show, Carson's Corner. Bob, how you doing, my friend?
Good. Thanks for having me back. It's a pleasure to be on with both of you. Really appreciate it.
And I got to say, Bob, the Skype is sounding loud and clear, mate. You're crystal tonight. Crystal. Let's get into some Bellator 179. Oh, I should say, actually, before we continue, Victor Vargas, MMA Wreckage, couldn't make it, and all we're going to say on top of that is, fuck you, Skype. We wanted him on, couldn't make it. Skype does these updates, so fuck you, Skype. But we'll get him on next time. But let's look at Bellator 179. Took place in London. We saw Kimbo Slice Jr. getting that TKO victory over Griffin. We saw Czech Congo grind out another decision.
Let's forget that one.
Yeah, let's skip that. Let's say about that the better. But let's start things with let's go actually Liam McGeary, Linton Vassell, because I'm a big McGeary fan. But Vassell subs.
Yeah.
This guy dominates on the ground, huh? Let's start with Blake. Blake, what was your thoughts on this, mate? Did you see this fight?
I was going for Linton. Linton's my boy, man. I've only known him like maybe virtually like a year and a half now. I had him on my show like last February. But we stay in contact, and I was telling people on this fight, man, don't sleep on Liam Linton Vassell, man. 'Cause I'm a huge Liam McGeary fan. I've been a fan of his since I started getting more into Bellator in 2014. I'd obviously been an MMA fan, UFC fan, Strike Force, all that, but like I never really watched it up until 2014. But anyways, I'm telling people, don't sleep on Linton Vassell, man. He is this dude. Like Black Zillions, for as much shit as people want to talk about their coaches and they're splitting up, whatever. Look how successful they are. Let's think about it, man. Desmond Green, Michael Johnson's doing some good stuff. Kamaru Usman. Jason Jackson is the welterweight champion. I mean, like, these guys, they don't sleep on that team. Like, that team, Linton Vassell, the dude's ground game is amazing. Like, his top control, when he gets you there, is amazing. And Liam McGeary, I like, Jimmy Smith said something about Liam McGeary has Hail Mary jiu-jitsu. And that's completely true. He'll just get people in these Hail Mary kind of subs out of the gate, he'll throw them up. But if he doesn't land them, let's remember, Phil Davis, Liam McGeary. Like, his bottom game is not, I don't think it's what we think it is.
Explain that, for a guy this side of the pond, we're not too familiar with Hail Mary. That's a play in American football, right? So, dumb it down for us. What does that mean?
So it's a play in American football where you basically it's your last play, say, of a certain time. It's your last play on your final play. You're so far back, you have to cross this invisible line so that way you can get some more plays. If you don't cross that invisible line, it won't work. So what you do is you send a guy running down the field, runs as far as he can, and you want to score a touchdown, which is, the point system in fucking football. Man, this game sounds really crazy to explain. So he has to run as far down, basically, he has to run far down his field, and you have to throw the ball as far as you can in hopes that he catches it and you get this play and the whole he can catch it, score the points. Maybe it's the final of the game or final of the quarter, whatever. And the whole point is he's praying Hail Mary as probably the quarterback's praying Hail Mary as he throws it, and the other guy's praying Hail Mary that he fucking catches it. So I don't know if that was the greatest explanation ever. That's probably the worst. I don't even watch football, in a very long time. But just you guys get the concept. You
definitely
you're praying for something that's not there.
It's an all or nothing, is my understanding of it. It's like we'll just throw everything at it. And McGeary's done that. He's pulled off submissions Maybe not against the best of opponents recently. Tito Ortiz springs to mind, but he's definitely capable. But Linton Vassell was just like, he made him look very amateur. I think we can agree on that. Also, a follow-up question, Blake. What next for him? Does he get the winner of Davis? Is it Bader? I believe is the next. Is it the title fight?
That's the goal. That's the goal here, because obviously it was going to be King Mo, but whatever. It was Ryan Bader, King Mo. I'm sorry, but the goal is Linton's been talking to me. The goal is that's the next fight. That's what he wants next.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Well, hopefully it happens.
Man,
looks good. Sounds good as well.
It's gonna be great.
Bob, what about yourself? This fights, mate, and thoughts on Vassell's future in that division?
Yeah. I look, I was like a lot of people. I thought, and I felt really stupid after this fight, because I was picking McGarry to win. Mm-hmm. McGarry, the former champion, he was nearly a 2-1 favorite going into this fight, and I gave him the edge when it came to stand-up, and I gave him the edge when it came to groundwork, his submissions and whatnot. And then what happens is just Linton Vassell, they call him the Swarm, and we saw why. He swarms McGarry, gets a takedown early, dominates really the second half of the first round, and just proceeded to have his way with Liam McGarry on the ground. And he has a smothering style. He's a great jiu-jitsu practitioner. He looked good with his striking. And, the thing about Liam McGarry, as much as I like him, I'm a big fan of him, his personality, he's a calm, cool, collective guy. And I actually ended up interviewing him years ago when he fought in Ring of Combat, which is a New Jersey-based promotion here, one of the longest-running promotions in the state, in the state and in the country, for that matter. And Renzo Gracie, fighter, and he just spends too much time on his back, and he's not able to stop the takedowns. And you can't be a champion, I think, by having your back on the ground for too long of a period of time. If you look at the UFC champions, look at someone like Daniel Cormier, you look at someone like not Bisping, I don't think he really counts as the champion, but you look at other guys, other champions, they don't have their back on the ground for too long of a period of time. And McGarry, he won the championship. He was undefeated, but Bellator has a whole new roster now. They've had some very high-profile signings, as we know, and we saw what happened against Phil Davis at Bellator 163. You just can't have it, and so he's got to really, I think McGarry come to the realization that he's got to start to change his game a little bit. Got to be less comfortable on his back and use that 6'6" frame to get guys out of there. As far as Vassell and his future, Coker basically implied that he would get the winner of Bader versus Phil Davis at Madison Square Garden, Bellator 180. I will be there. I'm so excited about that. That fight really makes sense. Vassell being sort of the number one contender, because I think he would present problems to either one of those guys. His long frame, his jiu-jitsu, his striking, and whatnot. We saw him fight Mo Lawal to a very close decision, and so I can't wait to see Linton Vassell fight either one of those guys, and we have a really bright future in the light heavyweight division in Bellator.
Oh, definitely, mate. It's looking good for Bellator these days. I used to shit on them for years, but this is one of a couple of shows they've done now. Albeit the last one that I watched was when Fedor pulled out, but I've been excited for. Do you know what I mean? I'm really getting into Bellator, and long may it continue as well. We need rivalry, man. We definitely need it. Let's talk main event though. The Red Devil himself, Rory McDonald. Firstly, Paul Daly versus MVP should probably be mentioned as well. We've got that follow-up fight. But Rory McDonald, for sure. I mean, it's almost like a part of me watched that and thought, I'm worried for Bellator, because it looked like that was too easy for him, and he could easily take the belt, and then what's the competition? But I mean, I don't know. Let's start with Bob this time. Bob, your thoughts on the Red King and that MVP Daly fight? How do you think that will go down?
Yeah, I when I called into the Bellator press conference call, I asked Paul Daly about if he was worried about Rory employing a wrestling based attack to get him off of his game. And Paul was like, I'm ready for anywhere the fight goes. I'm not worried. But I got to tell you, Rory McDonald looks so dominant out there. Looked absolutely frightening. This is a guy who took nearly 2 years off because of his nose surgery. Said he didn't really let it bother him, didn't let it get inside of his head. These absolute wars that he's had with just the best of the best at that division. He comes in there, he lands a couple strikes, goes right to the takedown, and then it was just basically a mismatch from that point. And the Daly said after the fight that he felt that McDonald was taking the safe road and playing it safe. But you know what? I got to tell you, I think if Rory really wanted to play the striking game, I think Rory could have probably beaten Daly. That's how dominant of a striker and of an overall fighter Rory McDonald is. And so he just obliterates Paul Daly. And now, he's got to fight the winner of Lima and Larkin. And I got to tell you, I think he runs through both of those guys. I think either one of those guys, they're going to have their hands full with Rory McDonald. And you've got his willingness now to want to become a two-division champion, which makes it all the more fun and all the more interesting to look at his fights, because he feels that he's capable of fighting even a guy like Litton Vassell. He said he would like to fight Litton Vassell, or Litton Vassell, he said that he would like to fight some of the Bellator legends there. So this is just such a great time. It's the new chapter in Rory McDonald's career, and he doesn't look like he just looks like a dominant fighter that is really going to do very well in this organization.
100%. Blake, your thoughts on the main event and some of the drama afterwards as well, mate?
Yeah, no. So first off, I agree with Ben's points about if Rory wanted to probably knock out Paul Daly, he probably could have knocked out Paul Daly. Because look at the first 10 seconds. The first exchange, I don't think Roy's hands get the respect that they should, and I don't think Paul Daly was giving his hands much respect, because he ate it was like a 4-piece, right in the first 10 seconds. It was like boom, 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 and you're like, oh my god, dude, like this is the type of fight we're gonna have, right? Like it's gonna be all Rory, and it definitely was, man. And it's so exciting. Finally, I mean, even if it's not UFC, that Rory's first off back from a 2-fight skid. Rory is, and I was telling my boy Kyle about this, and Rory's one of these fighters. You either have to outthink him to beat him, like Stephen Thompson did, or you have to out-tough him, like Lawler did twice. Yeah. So you have to do that with him, and I don't think it's a guy in Bellator that can do that to right now. They can do that to our boy, the Red King. Is that what he's going by now?
Yeah.
So I mean, Rory's in a great place. Rory, I mean, this is the win he needed, and this is the fighter that Bellator needs too, because he can do all these things. Give him something to do. He'll do it, and he'll beat it, and he'll win. And they need a star like this that he doesn't talk shit. He doesn't do that. He just He lets his hands speak for himself. He's that type of guy. So I'm so happy. It's just the potential that I think that we're all in agreement. It's the potential after this fight that we're expecting out of Rory, and if things keep going, and if it's stock market, you want to go invest into him right now. Yeah, go do it before he's a 2-time champ, and before I'd love to see even King Mo, who is a smaller light heavyweight, them fight at like a 190, 195. Like that could totally happen, and it would be great. Like there's all these great things that can now happen because last night was that setup fight.
Definitely, mate. 100% agree. And he's still so young as well. What is he? He's only like 27, 28.
He's 27. And we forget. We think that Roy's he's beyond the prime, but he's just barely getting into the prime. We saw him as a teen, quote unquote, a teenager of his career in UFC, and the very end of that prepubescent stage. Now we're in his prime. Now let's see what the hell he can do, because he's going to do amazing things. I think we all know this.
Oh, definitely, and I'll come back to that other point as well. Blake, what about the MVP Daly situation? I mean, in Scotland, you would call that, it was a lot of hold me back, there was nothing actually happening, but still a fight I want to see, though, don't get me wrong.
Yeah, no, yes, I mean, we call it the same thing here, and it's just, all hype. It's a bunch of hot air, just hot air, but it's